Hi, my loves. It's Destin. Let me stop. That's like hella extra. Hi, my loves. It's Destin Choice, and you're watching Choice TV. Well, I'm on live, so technically not. Actually, my camera actually got fucked up recently, so I can't even like film a video like how I normally would. So I'm waiting for like my new camera lens to come into the mail. When that comes in the mail, we'll be right back to our daily scheduled programming. I'm literally right back home in California, and now I'm ready to literally talk about a plethora of subjects. And first things first, hey everyone that came. Yes, I know I'm late. It's only been 10 minutes. It hasn't been that long, and I'm ready to get into a lot of interesting subjects and topics. Okay, so first things first, this person said about time. Listen, it's only been about 10 minutes. I want to wait for people to get in here, and then I'm gonna start talking. First things first, let me start by saying I'm actually gonna start posting every day starting today for the month of December. I know I always sometimes say that, but this time I'm actually serious because now I'm just like, okay, let's see if I can actually do like vlogmas and stuff. I know I'm hella late because right now it's December 5th, but if I can't do a normal upload, I'll do a live stream. A big reason why uploading every day has always been difficult for me is because I'm gonna be real with y'all. I've always struggled with like getting shit done and getting content edited and uploaded and posted because I do all the editing by myself. You know what I mean? Like people sometimes think that like I'm like I have like a team, I got this, I got that. I don't have a team, I don't have nothing. Like it's literally all me. Like thumbnail designs, outro music, obviously, editing, lighting, microphones, acoustic setup. Like a lot goes into it, and I'm usually doing everything by myself. And sometimes I'm getting anxiety, like setting things up, making things look presentable, and it can be draining sometimes because sometimes pouring a lot of effort and energy into content creation takes away time, space, and energy for other things, such as like having like a social life or doing other stuff. But I'm fine with that. I'm not complaining. It's just sometimes when people say, "Oh, you should post every other day or every other day or every day," I'd be like, "Oh my god, okay, I'll try." Back then, I could have because I literally put a little bit less effort. Like as you guys know, like when I had like a table back then, I have like a normal table now, as you guys can see, right? But back then, I was literally using cardboard boxes as tables. So that was like my way of kind of like say, "F it," like I'm gonna just knock out these videos. I don't even give a fuck. But now I kind of need to get back to that energy. I feel like I've been a little bit too self-absorbed to the point where like I don't want to like put out just anything. But it's not the fact that I'm putting out anything; it's just the fact that I just want everything to look straight and put this there, let's put that there. So I'm over that now, and now I'm on my shit. So now I'm gonna get back to posting every single day. And this year, I also want to do like a whole yearly recap. Like I know I usually do my really yearly recaps where I recap all the crazy shit that happened within the year. I skipped 2025, which I'm really disappointed about because I actually wrote the whole outline for the fucking video. But no, wait, that was 2024. Yeah, I skipped the whole 2024 recap that I typically do, but I'm gonna like do one for this year for 2025, a whole yearly recap of all the shit that happened, and I'm gonna start working on it immediately because I'm definitely gonna be home for a while, and I am gonna take a little bit of a break of traveling because I'll be real. Part of the reason why I travel so much is because it helps me like stay focused because I've been having so much anxiety and worried about this and that. Traveling is kind of like my safe space to just be like, all right, let me reset and recuperate. And now I've reset it, I've recuperated. Now I'm back and ready to get shit done. So let's see. Someone said, Trace, you're my number one favorite YouTube raps. Oh my God, I'm happy to hear that. And thank you to everyone that's been sending me those recaps where they tell me that I'm their top 5, top 10 most viewed content creator. I appreciate those. So now that people are coming in here, let's see. So people are obviously curious about the title and the thumbnail and stuff. Okay, so I talked about how I'm going to be posting very consistently now. No more bullshit. And many people have also asked me about like family tea, family drama, family interesting stuff. You know what's so interesting, right? I've done so many videos about like relatives and families and how I survive and navigate toxic like familial relationships. And those videos have done like when I posted at the time, when at the time when I posted those videos talking shit and dragging my crazy ass, psychotic ass, evil ass, toxic family, people like legitimately like I'll be real with you, like people like those videos. Like it's actually really shocking to me to this day that people could come up to me and tell me like, "Oh, let me guess, is your sister still ain't shit?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, this is awkward." I haven't talked about that girl in like years. Or like when people come up to me and be like, "Oh my god, like do you still talk to your cousins?" Like they were very shady in that one video, and I'm like, "Oh my god." those videos have so many views now. Like when I posted those videos years ago, they had like 2,000 views, 5,000 views, maybe like 10,000 views. I was lucky. Now I go back and watch those videos where I was dragging my trash family, and they have like 60,000, 8,000, 100,000 views. I'm like, when the fuck did I get all these views on these videos? So it really just goes to show you that even like with all the content creation and like commentary and news and podcasting I've done, people always go back to those videos. Like every time I scroll through like my comments and look at all comments on my dashboard, I always see comments on those type of videos. Let me see. Someone said, "Hey Trace, I'm left my ass off. I asked a friend for €5 that I could send it back to her for the next day, and she left me on scene. Yikes! You asked a friend for €5 and you sent it back for her the next day. I mean, €5 isn't even a lot. And maybe she got tired of you asking her for money because why wouldn't she send you €5? That's about like what, like maybe like $8 US. Why would she not send it to you? Let's see. People love drama, lol, and they get pushed out more. Exactly. Yeah, people can relate to toxic family because what's interesting is this is so many people told me like they felt alone when it came to like navigating toxic family and toxic relationships and shit like that. And I've been through the fucking ringer when it comes to like toxic relatives and toxic family. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them were even watching this video like, what is he talking about now? He's talking about us again? What are you talking about? Like, listen, if anyone watching this is related to me in any way, if you have any bloodline tied to me, this is all I have to say if you're watching this. If you are related to me, okay? If you're not related to me, don't worry. But if you are related to me and you're watching this and you feel away, this is what I have to say, okay? Don't take it personal. This is all I have to say. But back to what I was talking about earlier. So basically, I will talk about like how a lot of my relatives were always like all conniving and out to get each other, all types of crazy shit. I told stories about how my mom used to be like kind of messy as fuck, and she used to like always go at it with her sisters, who are my aunts. And then I'll never forget, like we were like homeless one time, and we didn't have like nowhere to go because my mom had like a fucking terrible addiction to looking good in front of other people. Like my mom basically would like literally rent out absurdly expensive like houses. Like she didn't care what it was. Like she wanted a townhouse with a garage and a pool and a gated community. And back then it could be like $1,500, $1,600, way more than she could actually afford. But she would always literally live check to check just so she can live like that. And it was always at our expense, like her children, right? My mom had 4 kids, but 3 children that lived with her. And all of us always had to suffer because she always wanted to live somewhere luxury and nice and fancy and cute and everything. And then we were always getting evicted. I feel like my mom probably got evicted like 10 times. And to this day, I still get anxiety anytime I come to my front door and I see something pasted on my door. Anytime I see something pasted on my door, I think, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, eviction, eviction, eviction. Like even though like I pay my bill, like I pay my rent on. I've never paid my rent late. I've never paid rent late ever, ever because of that. Because I always thought I'm gonna get evicted, and I literally get anxiety anytime I see some shit like pasted on my fucking door because I'm just like, oh my god, it brings back memories of all the times my mom couldn't pay her fucking expensive ass rent in these luxury ass fucking condos or these luxury ass fucking houses that she's fucking having us living in, and she's living check to check just to fucking pay it. And as a kid, I used to always tell mom, like, why can't you get something cheaper? Like, we can literally move to this area. And she's like, I'm not trying to live in that ghetto ass area. Like, I don't even tell me that stuff. I don't want to live in those ghetto ass areas. Like, I'm not about to be living on any kind of way. And I was literally my mom, and she didn't give a fuck about the fact that we would literally end up like homeless and evicted multiple times because she couldn't pay for stuff. And then sometimes I would tell her, like, Mom, are you sure you want to get this expensive ass apartment again? Like, you remember having the last 4 times? And she'd be like, Choice, I'm gonna try to pay it, okay? I'm gonna try to pay it. Boom, time will go by, she couldn't even fucking pay it, and then we would literally get evicted all over again. Like it was like a constant cycle with her. And that's part of the reason why she used to like really piss me off because she was so obsessed with how she was perceived and viewed. Like she wanted to be the sibling who lived in a nice area, made out the hood, was living luxury, and it affected us a lot because we were homeless. And then her sisters, my aunts, ended up like taking her in and me in and all her kids in and shit. And then they would like go at it and have issues and have beef and shit. And then when my mom ended up like saving her money and stacking her bread and moving out because she didn't get along with her sisters, who were my aunts, she ended up like talking hella shit about her sisters, talking about how, oh my god, their house is so fucking dirty. Yeah, like oh my god, like I couldn't wait to get my kids to get the fuck out of that apartment. Like it was that apartment, it was so dirty. They're so dirty. Like everything is dirty. The bathroom is dirty. The trash can is dirty. I don't even want to sit anywhere near their apartment. It's so dirty. But she was talking about how fucking dirty they were. And to be honest with you, okay, low key, yeah, their homes were dirty as fuck. Like sometimes you would walk into their house and there'd be like mud stains on the floor because like they would walk around and attract dirt and they wouldn't take their shoes off. And then they would probably only mop whenever they felt like it. Like sometimes their house was sloppy and they had like a hoarding issue sometimes. Sometimes you would see like stacks of like shit and stacks of clothes and stacks of this and stacks of furniture off to the side, and her home was dirty. My mom was messy. And then they retaliated on my mom, and you know what they did to her? They ended up talking hella shit about my mom to other people, and they even found my mom's boyfriend. Mom had like a boyfriend at the time, a little boo thing she met off of Facebook, and they went to him and they said, "She's a fucking liar. She's this. She's that. She has HIV. She has all types of diseases. She's a fucking hoe." Literally called my mom a hoe. Saying mama had HIV and everything. And then what was so interesting was that boyfriend of hers at the time, like literally ended up believing a lot of this shit they were saying because she lied and told that man that she was a nurse, that she was a registered nurse and she works at the hospital and shit like that, and she makes bad money, just trying to impress a man that she was talking to on Facebook. And she like legit like lied about her career, and she's a whole caregiver. Like she's literally a caregiver. She's an HHA caregiver, and she lied about what she did for work. And that was actually like really unfortunate because he ended up like confronting her about it, and it was just like a messy family dynamic. And then my mom ended up playing the victim and crying and making it seem like they were the ones that are toxic when it was like everybody was at it with each other. Like they were all in the fucking wrong. And then I remember I told the story one time just to like quickly shift gears. I'll never forget. There was this one time my dad was I told this story before, but I've never gone into full blown detail. My dad one time got me, my brother, my siblings, and my mom all evicted out of the apartment because my mom was having issues with my dad and he wouldn't get the fuck out the house. She like ended up like calling the police because she had already had an active restraining order on him. And then long story short, the police ended up getting his ass right the fuck out of the house, and then he ran to the leasing office weeks later and snitched. And he was like, "My wife got my kids up in there. She got her other child from her previous marriage up in there, and there's mad people living in there, and they're paying all this cheap rent, and they're lying." But that ended up literally lied to the whole, like not lied. He told the leasing office the truth. He literally told the whole tea to the leasing office, and we ended up getting evicted because my dad literally was bitter. So it was a lot of toxic. And my dad didn't give a fuck about the fact that me and my brother, his kids, right? Me and my brother, his kids were gonna end up being homeless and on the streets. So some of these stories, like I tell, and what's so unfortunate is a lot of my relatives, they'll hear these stories, they'll hear me tell these things, and they'll get like bitter and they'll get angry and shit like that, right? They'll get so furious when I tell these stories and I go on the internet and give my feedback about the things I've experienced, and they like were resentful towards it. They were very resentful. You know what I mean? Like I'll never forget, right? So basically, I had this one cousin named D, and I'll never forget. One of her friends is a big fan of my YouTube channel. Hey Rachel, I don't know if you're watching this, but Rachel, hey, I don't know if you're like watching this or if you still watch me, but Rachel was a really big fan of my YouTube videos, right? And she just so happened to be friends with one of my toxic relatives who was my cousin who I was cordial with. And basically, my cousin didn't know that Rachel, who is a fan of me, watched my YouTube video. She just saw Rachel watching my YouTube videos one day, and she was like, oh my God, that's my cousin, that's Troy, that's my cousin, yeah." And then she was just like, "Really? That's so crazy." And then my cousin ended up calling me on FaceTime, showing me like, "Oh my God, my friend Lily watches you, Troy. That's so crazy." But here's the thing. Um, my cousin didn't really realize the kind of worms that she was opening up because I was still actively talking about like the crazy, toxic, and fuck shit going on in the family and how fucked up and malicious and jealous everyone was and how everybody was always at each other's necks and shit like that. And Daphne started to grow to resent me. D, my cousin, she started to grow to like feel a way about me. She started to be very resentful because she hated the fact that her friends who because it wasn't just one friend. as my channel grew, it was her other friends as well that started to watch me. And she started to grow very resentful of the fact that they saw me like in a cool light as like a content creator and a YouTuber that they watch. And she got very bitter about the fact that I was like talking about the horrid things that I had gone through in the family. And they would sometimes bring it to her attention and be like, damn girl, like I'm a fan of Choice. And I'd be watching Choice's video, and that's crazy that he said that y'all be doing that, or like y'all was on that weird shit, or like y'all was like conniving and at it with each other. Like that's crazy. And she would feel away because she felt like her friends kind of like had like a piece of me and access to me, and she just didn't like that, and that rubbed her the wrong way, and it really bugged her. And I knew it bugged her because I just noticed the way that I noticed the way she would act sometimes. I noticed the way she would be. I noticed that there were times where like she would like I'll never forget. There was this one time where like I ended up moving to Los Angeles, California, and I didn't really tell her at all because I didn't really think it was any of her fucking business because I barely like see her as someone I was super super close with. But basically, we were cool, but we weren't super close. I posted I was moving to Los Angeles and I had already moved and everything. And she had to find out through her friends that watch me on YouTube. And then she one day called me, right? And again, I don't tell a lot of my relatives anything personal because they're kind of like messy and conniving and they're always like comparing themselves to one another. Pardon me. She ended up like FaceTime me and was like this. Like literally, she was like this on FaceTime. She was like, Troy, did you move to LA? I was like, yeah, I did. She was like for good? Like you for good moved? Yeah, why? Like for good? Like all your stuff is packed? Like you're like never moving back home? Like ever? You for sure moved to LA. I was like, yeah, why? And she was like, oh, I'm just asking. I was like, why are you just asking? I'm just asking, I'm just asking, I'm just asking, I'm just asking. I was like, why? And she was like, your background looks different. And I thought that was so weird. And then it turned into this. Like I'll never forget where she literally was like, oh, but since you moved, Choice, let me get a tour. Let me see your apartment. I was like, oh, sure, okay, whatever. I literally ended up going on FaceTime and I literally like start showing her my apartment. Like I'm in the living room, I'm showing her the kitchen area, the downstairs area, and she's like this the whole time. Like weird, just demonic, low vibrational as fuck. And I didn't have enough discernment back then to really just call her out. I just didn't really care. So I was just like, whatever. So basically, she's like this the whole time. I'm like giving her a tour of my apartment. She's like this. And then I never forget, I ended up like showing her this painting on my wall because I had like this Mona Lisa painting that had like graffiti and Sharpie marks all over it that my friend had like painted for me. And basically, I was like, oh, and this is like a painting that my friend had like literally like did for me. And then she was like, oh, that shit is so fucking ugly. And I was like, okay, well, that's what my friend did for me. My friend literally just put it for me. He just put it on the wall and I like it. And she was like, oh, mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. And then I pretty much wrapped the tour. And then as I was like wrapping up the tour and showing her like my extra bedroom, my office space, she was like, oh wow, that's so nice. That's so nice. Wow, look at that. Your office. Oh wow, so nice. Like just so forced and just so fake. And it was just weird because all I kept thinking to myself was damn, this bitch really sucks. Like she really is just like tallying and thinking information. And I'm referring to like toxic relatives from the past. She really was like tallying information so she could like go fucking repeat it to whoever the fuck that I'm related to. And it was annoying because I was like making moves and progressing in life, and she was just like a wandering ass fucking jealous ass spirit. And it was weird because I've actually like helped this person before. And they've done a lot, and like a lot of my relatives have done a lot of shady things to me. Like there were times where like one of my cousins one time had texted me and she was like, hey Choice, can I get 150 really quickly? And I was like, yeah, sure. And she was like, yeah, I just have to pay my tuition really quickly. Okay. And then I was like, yeah, sure. And I literally cashed out her 150. Then 20 minutes later, her mom, my aunt, ended up texting me saying, Choice, can I get 150? I have to pay my storage. I was like, yeah, sure. And I just like sent the cash app. And I looked back and I literally processed it after an hour. And I was like, wait, why don't I just send my cousin and her fucking mom, my cousin and my aunt, $150 each? Boom, they both just made $300 when they put it together. And then I realized that they were just really just being sneaky and shady and were just willing to take advantage and take and walk all over me. And I just didn't like that shit. And it was just little shit like that. It's just like I ended up changing my number after that. I talked about that a long time ago, but I ended up changing my number because I was like, bro, fuck them people. Like, what the fuck they even hit me up for? You know what I mean? And also another thing, if y'all been following me long enough, y'all know I used to make videos about like my evil ass sister, right? When I was younger, I had an evil ass sister, right? And I don't really talk to her at all, but I had a sister who was like what, like 10 years older than me. And she would do all types of horrible fucking shit. Like I'm talking about like she used to like literally break into my room, get a little knife pried open. Mind you, she's 10 years older than me, right? Like she was doing this stuff when I was 15, right? I'm 15, she's 10 years older than me. Do the math. She would pry open my room door with a knife, right? And she basically would do weird shit. Like, mind you, me and my brother also shared a room. So me and my brother, like, we shared a room, and she would do this shit. Like, she would do this kind of like weird shit. Like, she would like one time she like got like a cup of red juice, and she like threw it on the fucking floor, and she let that shit like dry and evaporate like a fucking nasty fucking like demon. Like, she just literally let the fucking red juice dry up. And there was one time where she had like got a dustpan and a broom, and she had like swept up like a bunch of trash and shit. And then she swept up a dead roach that was in her fucking room, dirty as fuck. And she threw that shit in my fucking tub. She threw a bunch of like scraps and clumps of hair and fucking eyelashes that fell out of her fucking head and a dead roach, and she threw it in my fucking tub. And mind you, this is also my half sister, to give you guys some context. So you see where I'm going with this? That was my half sister. Like we had the same mom, but we had different dads. Yeah, mom had like 3 baby daddies, just to like give y'all some context. That's not no disrespect to her, but that just give y'all some context. So yeah, so it was just like always this weird divide. Like she always like hated my dad because my dad just fucking sucked and he was abusive and shit like that. And he basically was abusive towards all of us, even my mom. And she just took it out on us in my personal perspective on how I perceive stuff. And basically, my sister also had a lot of resentment towards me and my brother because, again, like I said, she's 10 years older than me, 9 years older than my brother. And basically my mom kind of like forced her to be like the caretaker in a sense, like the caretaker, babysit the kids, watch the kids. I got to go to work. They daddy not doing shit. Their dad not here. Their dad is doing this, so you take care of the kids. So she'd be like 8 years old, 9 years old, babysitting us and shit like that and watching us because my dad wasn't present, and she grew a lot of resentment. You know what I mean? I have horrid memories from when I was a child where my sister literally used to do weird shit. Like when I was like 9 or 10 years old, she'd be like, she would jokingly do this whenever her friends would come over. Her friends would come over, she would do like, hear me out, right? My sister, who was like 10 years older than me, would literally do this. She'd do this in front of her friends who would be like sitting on the couch, chilling in her room, and she'd be like, oh, slave, slave. And then her friends would be like, what? And they would like laugh. And then I would like ignore it. And then she'd be like, Choice, get over here. And I would go and be like, yeah. And she'd be like, slave, I need a cup of juice. And then I would like say, okay. And I would like take the cup of juice and like go get her a cup of juice. And I didn't mind. But like back then, she just thought she can do that because at 8 and 9 years old, she was like babysitting and watching me and my brother. And she felt like she had to because, again, we were born when she was like 8 or 9 years old. So she has to babysit us. She has to watch us a lot. She couldn't go outside and play. And she developed resentment towards us for many, many years. And hold on, let me read some of these comments because I still have more to say. Some of you are asking me questions. Let me read these real quick and I'm gonna get right back to a lot of my crazy ass fucked up family members to like catch some of y'all up. The hoarding house. Someone said y'all were not on the lease. Yeah, yeah. My dad, basically, this person talking about this. So you asked us, were y'all not on the lease? Yeah. So just to piggyback off of this really quickly, sorry to redirect. My dad ended up getting me, my brother, and all my siblings and my mom evicted because he ran to the leasing office. Because initially, when my mom and dad had got the lease, they got this luxury ass, fancy ass apartment in the suburbs outside of Miami. Basically, they told the leasing office that it was going to be 2 adults and 2 children. My mom, my dad, me, my brother. Me and my brother are my dad's kids, right? So it wasn't just my mom and dad, me and my brother. It was my sister's baby daddy, and my sister who just had a fucking baby. Who at this point the baby was like 10 months old. So it was about 7 people on the lease, but initially it was supposed to be 4 people. So seven, but the lease said 4 people. He ran to the leasing office and said that it was actually 7 people until, oh, plus him, right? Plus him, right? Did I include him? I did, yeah. So he said it was all 7 of us in the apartment. I don't even live there no more. My wife live up in there with my kids, with Troyce, my son, and my other son, Jay, and and her daughter from her previous marriage, and her daughter's baby daddy, and a baby's up in there. Like my dad was snitching and singing like a canary, and he got all of us evicted out that apartment because they told us straight up. They wrote a letter to my mom and said, "Hey, we're going to increase the rent as of now because we've reached that threshold where since if you want, you can renew. But since we recently got knowledge that there are more people living on in the unit than we intended on, we're going to be upping the rent. So instead of us paying at the time, this was years ago, so $1,500 was a lot for rent, right? So especially because it was like again, it was a gated community, it was a pool, it was a nice ass fucking like townhome community with a pool and a gate. And basically, it was $1,500, and they were trying to raise the rent to 1,800, and my mom could barely even fucking pay the rent as it is. So you know what I mean? So my mom had to make a choice: either you pay that 1,800 that they're gonna raise it to, or you're gonna have to get the fuck out. And that was it. And my mom chose to get the fuck out. So essentially, she had to leave. So technically, it wasn't that she got evicted; it was that she was gonna get evicted if she didn't agree to pay that amount. So technically, not really an eviction, more so like a pay what we gotta fucking pay or get the fuck out. And my mom chose to get the fuck out, and she ended up like breaking the lease. I think a little bit early. So it's not that she got evicted; it's that she broke the lease, and I think it ended up falling on her credit. That's what it was. So she ended up breaking the lease before they could even raise that shit. My mom was just like, whatever, like I'm not gonna pay your rent, I'm gonna keep it. And then there was this one time too where my dad had a horrible gambling problem. So for more context, my dad literally used to take the rent money and he used to like gamble that shit. My dad was always at the casino all the time, every month, always at the casino, trying to get rich, trying to make some extra money, always hustling. And then he would sometimes take the rent money, his paycheck, and he would squander it all. And then eventually he would like go to friends and look for friends and like borrow money from friends so he could pay his fucking rent. My dad had a horrible problem with gambling. Horrible problem. He was always there. Let me say, are you guys watching the Day documentary? I will be watching it and I will be doing a review. So thanks for bringing that to my attention. I haven't watched it yet. I'm saving it for later. What are the generational curses that your family has, Choice? Generational curses? I'm going to get back to the story. Okay. Generational curses, I would say like familial jealousy. Like everybody feels that they have to outdo each other because they want each other's validation. Anyways, and I would say, sorry about that. Yeah, damn, she wanted you gone, right? Why do relatives dislike each other? So a lot of our relatives dislike each other because of issues that existed before I was even born. Honestly, I think a lot of it has to do with just self-comparison. And I'll be honest with you. Okay, I'm gonna be fucking real. My grandmother, listen, um, she's still alive and well, and she isn't feeling too. I'm gonna be real. My grandmother was messy as fuck. Okay, my grandmother's like 80 years old, and listen, no disrespect to her. I don't talk to her. I don't have a problem with her. I don't have no disrespect to her. She's a messy ass mother. Like she's messy as fuck. My grandmother was a messy motherfucker. She always turned her kids against each other. Like, oh, see, your sister did this, or your sister is always doing this, or I heard your sister has this going on. Like, she was always turning her daughters and her kids against each other. And then she had like all girls, and she had like one boy, which is my uncle, who passed away. Rest in peace to him. He committed suicide. That's a horrible story that actually ended up making the news. So basically, she would always say, "Oh, I don't even acknowledge you other kids. Like all I know is when I'm older, I know who's gonna take care of me. My son's gonna take care of me. Like my only boy, my son, my king, my babe." Like she always turned her kids against each other, and it manifested into issues for many, many years throughout the years. Like who has this? Who has more money? Who's gonna do this? Who has a better husband? Who has a better life? Who, like, always comparing them to each other. And that's part of the why it manifests into stuff. And then other things too, like when it comes to not even just that part of the family, there's the family, like the more extended family. Uh, Basically, it's always been just jealousy. Who has the better house? Who has more of this? Who has this? Who has that? It's just always just been at each other's necks. Self comparison. Everybody wants each other's validation. That's how it is for a lot of families. Everybody wants each other's validation, but then secretly dislike each other, but it's secretly having to keep tabs and keep control of each other. And that's part of the reason why I removed myself from a lot of my relatives. Why I just changed my number, went ghosting everybody, and a lot of people in the family who are related to me in my immediate family, they view me as strong, confident, and successful and driven. But a lot of them also view me as just slick mouthed. A lot of them view me as thinking that I'm better than them, thinking I think my shit don't stink type of shit because I did change my number and I did step away, and many of them did feel away about that. And also another thing, I'll be real. When I was making YouTube videos talking about how fucked up my family was, how everybody was out to get each other, how it was chaos, how they were spreading lies about my mom having HIV and shit like that, and how they were doing other weird shit, how my mom was being messy as fuck, talking about how dirty as fuck their house was, and oh my sisters, like basically I was making videos about a lot of this stuff, and they were getting views. And then I had this cousin named Sam, right? So my cousin Sam, she literally used to like screenshot my videos and she would like show it to people and be like, "Oh, look what he's doing." She was jealous of my YouTube channel success. Like to this day, I still stand by that. She was jealous of my YouTube channel success to the point where sometimes she would screenshot stuff and she would send it to my sister. And basically, she would send it to my sister, forward it to my sister, talk shit and gossip with my sister. And this is the same bitch that literally used to ask me, "Choice, can I have some money for this? Can I have some money for that? Can I have some money for this? Can I have some money for that?" Never offered to pay me back or nothing. And she would always screen record and screenshot my videos, show it to her mom, show it to people in the family, and be like, "Oh, look at the kind of stuff Choice is talking about. Look at the kind of stuff he's doing." Stuff like that. And she always did that with the intention of trying to make me look small. But it never really worked out because I mean, I was gaining like success and popularity on the internet. So it just became like like a gossip thing for her. Like she wanted to like talk shit about my YouTube channel. And then what's even sad is a lot of my relatives were never supportive of my YouTube channel, my success, and my brand. They were never supportive until they started seeing other people recognize me and me be successful on the internet. Like I'll never forget. My cousin ended up doing some weird shit. Like I remember I told her a long time ago, like, "Hey, like I have a YouTube channel now. You should subscribe and like follow. Like I'm trying to post more videos consistently. Like I'm trying to be like, do more shit with this YouTube stuff. Can you like subscribe to me? You can like watch my YouTube video." And my cousin D was just like, "I'm not about to watch your YouTube videos." And then that's the same cousin where her friends ended up being fans of my YouTube channel when I started going viral. And then all of a sudden, she was just telling them and always telling me, "Oh yeah, Choice. I remember when you used to have like your little camera. I remember you used to always like make videos and stuff." Like she would say that to her friends who watch me, but she was talking shit about my YouTube channel, saying that she wasn't about to subscribe to it. She was also gossiping about my YouTube channel to my sister, saying, "Do you see the kind of stuff George is posting on YouTube? Like, look at him. Like, he's like stuffing his face and shit like that, and he's like fat and overweight." She would, and this is stuff that I would find out like years later that she was talking shit about me and my YouTube channel, but yet was asking to borrow some money or asking if she could have some fucking money. Never supported anything, but bitch, I'm so useful when I'm making income, but I'm not like, you know what I mean? But I'm not worth like showing support or love or liking a video towards nothing. Yeah. So it bothered me for many, many years. It did. And then eventually I started to like kind of like what helped me heal from it was talking about it with you guys about like how fucked up a lot of my relatives were and how conniving people were. And then even like my sister, like again, like back to my sister, I didn't really tell like y'all more stories, but there were weird stuff that my sister used to do. She used to do a lot of evil shit. Like I'll never forget. She ended up like, oh my god, some of these stories get really graphic. So again, like, can y'all leave a like on this video? Like, leave a like if y'all want to hear more. If y'all want to hear more, leave a like. But I have a lot of these videos up. If you ever have time to like go on YouTube, just type in Choice TV, my YouTube, or Destined Choice, my YouTube channel name, and then type in sister or family, and you'll see like a bunch of like videos. Like I'm talking about like 80 videos from like 10 years ago, 11 years ago. so many years ago from videos that I've made about like horrid shit that I went through. Like my sister one time took the back. I had an Android. She took the back off my phone one time, and she literally spit in my phone, like spit, like literally spit in my phone, and my phone was all fucked up, and it wouldn't turn on at all. And I knew this because my phone would not turn on, and she like literally fucking took my phone to be petty and was like, "I'm older than you. I'm taking your phone." I'm like, "No, the fuck you're not." And I told my mom. My mom made her ass give me my fucking phone back. And then eventually, mind you, I was like what 15. She was 25. Keep that in mind. I was 15. She was 25. So what was so crazy was like I remember I took the back off my phone and I was like, why is it so moist? Why is it so wet? Why did the battery look like that? I had an Android. And then I would like look at the back, it was so wet. I smell it. That's just smell like straight up spit. Like the bitch didn't even brush her fucking teeth. It just smell like straight up shit, like dookie. So I was like, she spit in my fucking phone. And I went the fuck off. My mom ended up going off on her because my mom ended up just buying me that phone. But that's another story that I already talked about. So I remember I actually made a video about that. So just type in "she spit in my phone" on YouTube, and you can watch the whole story about that. That was a long time ago. And then there was another situation where I'll never fucking forget. There was this other situation where we got into this horrible ass fight, and then it was like blood everywhere. It was so bad. That's another story, but it's called like I effed my sister up or some shit like that. You can watch that. That's a whole other video. I ended up like recording her and everything, like her recordings. Because sometimes people look at me, people be like, "Wait, are you sure that happened? Are you, baby?" I used to record this stuff. Okay, like I used to like I was like literally 14, 15 years. I was recording this stuff because people online would be like, "Are you sure? Like, are you sure? Are you sure?" Like I would record this stuff and post it on the fucking internet. Like as a kid, I was fucking like wild. Like I'm talking about like I was literally making videos. I would literally be in my room and be like, "That fucking stupid ass, slut ass, hoe ass bitch fucking broke my fucking phone. She's a fucking stupid ass bitch putting roaches in my fucking bed and shit. Fuck her." And she would literally be like in the next room. She'd be like literally just the wall over in the other room. And I didn't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck. I was right there. I was living in my mama's house. I didn't give a fuck. I didn't care. I was just venting because when I would talk about it with relatives, none of them would step in or help me or protect me. They would pull me off to the side and be like, "You know how your sister is, or she don't respect nobody." And then when they would be in her face, I would overhear them whispering and shit and talking shit about me, literally being like, "Just ignore Junior. You're older. You're the oldest." Like literally playing both sides and being messy, and then going to their fucking home and their quarters, talking shit and like laughing about the dysfunction going on in my mom's fucking household because they all didn't fucking care for my mom. Ugh, just terrible looking back. Let me read some of these comments and then I'm gonna continue. Keep liking this video. If you want to hear more, just please like the fucking video. Someone said you were actually part of my dysfunction family awakening in 2020. Sometimes the things y'all think are normal in y'all family actually isn't. Like it's not normal that a lot of people bond over dysfunction. And it was crazy because it was just weird as shit. Like I'll never fucking forget. Oh my god. Weird shit. Oh my god. Cousins doing me dirty after you like paying for shit, giving them money for stuff. They shitting on you, doing all types of weird shit. And one thing I realize is this is sometimes you're the family scapegoat. Like if you're the person that's always calling shit out in your family at Thanksgiving dinners, with your relatives, sometimes you're seen as the difficult one because you call shit out. But in reality, they're using you as the scapegoat. Like sometimes people want you to be their scapegoat. Like rather you're the friend who everybody likes to pick on and try and test because people sometimes like to bond over dysfunction. Like, okay, well, we don't get along and we don't get along with her either. Let's bond and come together and let's pick on this bitch right here and let's like make them feel small. So that's why sometimes when you're the scapegoat, somebody makes you the scapegoat, you have to remove yourself because, or sometimes coworkers can do this. Sometimes coworkers will gang up on like the one person that's soft spoken or doesn't really call shit out because they want to feel superior, like bullies technically. And sometimes when you call shit out or you remove yourself as a scapegoat and refuse to be somebody's punching bag, you leave the two people who wanted to try to pin you or like, push you against the wall and corner you, leave them together and they eventually bump heads. They bump heads because they don't have shit in common other than just being dysfunctional and being bullies. And they're not going to be the scapegoat for each other. So they eventually like, break apart, fall apart, and don't even become cool anymore. Let me see. You remember that story? I'm sorry. I'll continue. I'm just gonna read some of these comments. Hating that spirit. Shorty was weird. Yes, weird. It's giving single white female. Didn't your mom do the same thing? Same thing. Well, I'm sorry. I lost track of what I was talking about. I'm not sure what you mean. Sure, I remember telling the story, and the first time it was your mom. What are you talking about? The first time it was my mom. I don't know what you mean. It'd be your own family. Yeah, what? 150. Yeah, I kid you not. 150. Right. She literally asked me for 150 and then had the nerve. And then her mom ended up hitting me right after saying, Choice, I need 150 to pay for stuff. So they both, so my cousin and my cousin's mom, so my cousin and aunt, they ended up asking me for 150, 20 minutes apart from each other. And I was just like, I still gave it to them. So they basically made like $300. And I still to this day will think back to myself and be like, I wonder if that was like some weird ass setup. That's what I thought. That's what I got from it. Let me see. I'm glad you grew out of your people pleasing. I definitely did. Somebody said I would have called my bank so fast. It was on Cash App. I could have called my fucking bank. I Cash Apped it to them fucking idiots. Someone said, oh, hey, let me read this. Thank you for the super chat, Tyler. Hey, you don't have to answer now, but January is coming up and I support a vegans boycott to push back an animal ag. How do you feel about that? A vegan boycott to push back an animal ad? I'm not sure what you mean. Can you like give me more context? I might have to ask ChatGPT what you mean. I'm going through the same thing. I'm ready to move away. Sometimes it be like that. Like sometimes, so people always ask me. That's why I say, like, even years later, people still email me and ask me, "How did you move out? How did you get away from toxic family?" And all I did was this: I stacked my coins. I found me a fucking cheap ass roommate on Craigslist. I was paying like $600 a month for a private room, and I did everything I could to work really, really hard. I stacked up, and then eventually I was able to become self sufficient. And then when the time came, I changed my fucking number and didn't give it to barely any of the motherfuckers. I made the mistake of giving it to an additional family member that should have been cut off. I ended up giving it to a relative who was like, her name was D. I talked about her earlier in this live, who was really, really jealous of me. I am giving it to her, which I shouldn't have done that. And I'll never forget, I should have cut her off a long time ago, but she used to always do weird shit. So I had a cousin named D, and I talked about her a few minutes earlier in this live. Cousin named D, right? So D, she was like really, 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 really like jealous and resentful of me because she hated the fact that I was able to like talk about the family and make content on the internet, and she was never supportive. She used to say things like, "I'm about to watch her video." Like she thought I was wasting my time. She thought my channel made no sense. She was talking shit to my mom about my YouTube channel, talking shit to my sister about my YouTube channel, like talking hella shit. But then when it came to wanting some money, all of a sudden she had like no problem asking to borrow some money. And I used to be very generous because she was going through stuff financially, and I sent her money and shit like that. Just being people pleasing and being stupid. And I learned my lesson, right? I learned my lesson to like put some boundaries up and not help everybody because not everybody deserves your help, right? Like even if they want help, that doesn't mean you should give it to them because sometimes your help is not going to serve them. They'll just like some people when you help them, they just won't respect you. They'll just be like, well, you could have just said no, whatever, fuck him. That's how some people will view sometimes when you offer help. People respect you more when you have boundaries. So, anyways, what was I saying? I forgot where I was going with this. People always ask me like, what do I do? So yeah, I got a roommate from Craigslist. I found a roommate who was literally trying to like offer his room for like $600 a month. I was paying it. He was a dirty motherfucker, but it worked for a little bit. I was able to stack up, save my money. I was able to like get my head straight, get my credit right. And at 18, I was able to get my own shit. Before I even graduated high school, I was able to get my own shit. Like literally like 2 months, I'll say a month and a half before I graduated high school. I had my own apartment. I had a roommate and an apartment and everything was fine. So I was happier. I was in a much better headspace and things started like progressing for me for the most part. So that's what I did. Sometimes you got to get a roommate. Like if you can't afford to get your own place, you got to get a roommate. Like I know people be like, "Oh, I don't want to live with somebody." Get a fucking roommate. If you're miserable where you're at, then change your situation. And if you don't want to get a roommate, then Lord to behold, maybe your situation isn't as bad as you think it is. Someone said I would have disputed the charge. I've been here since the stories on your weird asses. Yep. Some of y'all have been here for a minute. Yes. What do you say? I'm sorry. I don't know how to say your name. Adonga Kat. Oh yes. Okay. Terrorizing you for what? She terrorized me. My sister terrorized me when I was younger because she had a resentment of the fact that I used to stand up to her and I would tell her ass no. Like remember, like earlier, I told the story about how she'd be like, "Oh, slay!" Like they'll do little weird shit like that. You know what I mean? It was really weird. She used to do really weird ass conniving stuff when I was a kid. Like she was very manipulative. Like there were times where, like for example, like I'll never forget. Like I used to have a collection of bucket hats, right? I used to have so many. Like if you go watch my older videos from like 11 years ago, over a decade ago, I had a beautiful collection of bucket hats from different colors and patterns and more. And I'll never forget. She knew I had a beautiful big hat collection, and my sister broke into my fucking room and she ended up like taking a bunch of my hats. She took a bunch of my hats, and then I ended up I don't know I forgot what happened to where I retaliated. I retaliated some way somehow, but oh, I remember I took her flat iron. I took her flat iron that she used to straighten her hair because she loved straightening her hair. And that was like the only flat iron she had. It was one of those cute little expensive flat irons. And I took it and I put it in my backpack and I gave it to some fat bitch at my fucking school. I forgot her name. I think her name was like Gloria, but I gave it to some big fat bitch at my school. And I was just like, hey, you want a flat iron? And she was like, I could use a flat iron. And I literally gave it to Gloria. I was like, here you go. You can have that shit. And I gave it to some random girl at my school. And I'll never forget. She ended up like going off. My sister was screaming, yelling about the fact that I had stole her flat iron. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about because she stole my bucket hats. She stole my bucket hats. And I knew she took my bucket hats. And I'll never forget where she literally like made a scene and then she was just like, you fucking faggot. Every fucking bucket hat that you fucking own is in the fucking trash now, bitch. Literally like, just yelling. And I was like, aha, I knew you took it, bitch. I knew you took them. I knew you fucking took my shit. I knew you broke into my room because she had a habit of fucking doing that. And she knew she can get away with it because mom worked full time. And again, she's my half sister, right? Like we have different fathers. So we were always at it with each other, always going at it. And I'll never forget one time where uh I never forget one time where she literally like whispered at my door. Like one time my door was like cracked halfway open, and then she was like, oh yeah, and guess what? Guess what? You know, and guess what? Also, your bucket hats. Yeah, I took all them shits and I threw it away. I literally drove somewhere and I threw it away. Ha ha, fucking gay fat bitch. That's literally what she said. She was like, ha ha, gay fat bitch. I took all your bucket hats and I like literally drove somewhere and I threw them all away. That's literally what she said. Like she was a evil ass, conniving ass bitch. And again, half sister again, like that's what it is. That's why people say, some people just be like, stop saying half. This is my half sister, okay? Like sometimes the half sibling thing does make a big difference in how siblings connect. And then hold on, I'm sorry. Let me read this comment really quickly. Your sister was 25. Oh my god, yes, she was. I was 15. My family always talks shit about me every time I would come around. I don't even know. I don't even want to be around them anymore. Maybe you're the scapegoat, or maybe they just want someone to take their emotional fucking like anger on. Maybe they just want an emotional anchor, like someone just take all their energy off of. Your sis to a T is one of my four siblings. So, oh, one of my sister reminds me of one of your four sisters. My other sisters agreed with me. My mother put raw chicken underneath my mattress. I didn't even know it was there until my room started to smell. Your mom is a weird little bitch. Why the fuck would she put raw chicken under your mattress? What the fuck did she gain from that? Okay, I'm gonna get back to the story. Just leave a like if y'all want me to keep going and tell more of these stories. Because again, these stories go deep and bad and deep and bad. Let me see. Yeah, someone said just take me back to 2016 videos. Oh god. Again, like I said, for those of y'all who want to know more and want to watch a whole, I don't have a playlist organized of it, but just type in Choice TV Family or Choice TV Sister, and it'll be a bunch of videos. You'll see. Let me see. Hmm. I didn't know. Someone said, I don't know how you live that like that with a sister like that. I would end up going to jail for attempted murder. Oh my god. I'm telling you, like, I got some stories that have gone where things could have been bad. Let me see. It's not half. Y'all share the same mom. I think it's different if it comes. I think it's half if y'all don't have the same dad. If we don't come from the same dad. Are you sure? I would fact check that just to make sure. Let me see. Oh, okay. You a real one. Yes, I did do that. Yes, I will be honest. Yeah. So after I ended up moving out and focusing on myself and growing my brand and shit like that, yeah, she did get her karma and she ended up going to jail for stealing. She stole like $500 worth of shit, sadly. And she had a whole mugshot on Google and everything. I did show that, but I blurred her face. I was like, it's not worth it. I'm not gonna show the person's face. I don't want no one to like recognize her in the real world. No, let's spare people. But yes, that did happen. Thank you so much, Choice. I'm so glad I finally caught you on live. I'm watching for 5 years, and I love your videos. And you, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Slave is crazy. Yeah, she used to do that. And again, me and my brother would like laugh that stuff off when she would call us her slaves. Catherine's pregnant again. Okay, thanks for telling me. That's interesting. I remember this. You told us he was so petty. Someone said, "Damn, was no one else helping out?" Nah, no one else was helping out. My mom was the only one paying the fucking bills. My sister was a grown woman, barely working, keeping a consistent job. She was working as a waitress, and then my sister was a pick Misha. She was dealing with a man who couldn't really provide or do much, and had a baby with him, and he was all up in our crib, living in our house, eating up all our food, eating up all the fucking chips and shit like that. So yeah, my mom was paying the bills all by herself. Is this pre-recorded? No, this is not pre-recorded. This is live. Why do your relatives dislike you and each other? Choice. Um, my grandmother plays a role. The older generation before my parents, it's just generations of just comparison, chaos, and I think just beef in the family that stems from years, just years and years of beef. And then also, I'll never forget, my aunts ended up spreading a horrible rumor that my brother was not my dad's child. They were just like, "Oh, see that one. I look like my father. I literally look like him." They'd be like, "Oh yeah, that one is yours, but that one over there, that's not your son." They ended up like spreading rumors about like my mom being a hoe and like cheating and sleeping outside of her marriage and shit like that. Crazy shit, and all of it just stems from just self comparison and just like comparing each other, like who's better at this, who's prettier, who has this, who has less of this, who has more of that. Congrats on your first job. You're 17. Some of the managers are passive aggressive towards me and cut me early so other employees get more pay. I work at a restaurant. Sometimes your employers and sometimes your coworkers are jealous of you when you're young because they're like 28, 35, 55, 65, and they're resentful of the fact that you have your whole life ahead of you. And some of them are making almost the same pay as you or the exact same pay as you. So yeah, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes your coworkers who you think are your friends, who you think you're cool with, they're fake. Stop telling your coworkers your fucking business. Don't follow them on social media unless they really, really seem cool. Yeah, people will pick on you at work if you're young and if you let them. Someone said, "Choice, I emailed you." I'm gonna check your email. Email me again. Just be like, "Hey, I'm emailing you again." Just email me again so that way I can see it. My grandma's like that too. My granny messy too. Your grandma with the same. I'm so glad some of y'all can relate to having a messy ass granny. My grandmother did that too with her own kids too. Oh yeah, my grandmother was bleaching too. Yeah, my grandmother was definitely big on bleaching creams and shit like that. And bleaching, yeah. Yeah, yeah. If you look at her knuckles were definitely a little bit darker, I guess. And she definitely had like bleaching soap in her bathroom. Yeah. I love that you speak so openly, Choice. I have no problem being open. I think it helps people when you're open. I didn't even do Thanksgiving this year with family. They are toxic. They will laugh at you and joke around, but as soon as you leave, they will talk shit about you. Sometimes it's jealousy. Sometimes it's resentment over shit that you can't control. Sometimes it's jealousy and resentment over the fact that you don't come around as much. Sometimes it's jealousy and resentment. Or sometimes, I'll be honest with you, one thing I've learned with family and relatives is when a lot of them are doing weird shit to me, plotting. Like, for example, like I had a cousin who I was constantly helping out with financially. She was dealing with shit financially. Her roommate had walked out on her and everything. And I'll be nice and send her some money sometimes and be nice and be like, oh, I have extra money from this. Like, you can have some. Like, I'll send her $200, $300, $100, $150, $300. Well, here you go, here you go. And come to find out, uh, she was like, she just like she wasn't a good person because I ended up realizing that she was two faced as fuck because she was also talking about me to my sister and talking about my YouTube videos with my sister. And I just be like, bitch, I'm helping you out financially just out of being generous. And you're talking shit about me and talking about what I got going on with my sister who I don't talk to. Bitch, you're fake. And I just like literally eased up and I stopped helping her. And she eventually like started to like grow resentment and felt a way about the fact that I scaled back on being nice and being generous towards her, which should have said a lot about her character because why do you feel the way that somebody's scaling back with being generous and kind to you? You know what I mean? Like, why do you feel like you have to do that? Like, I'll never forget, she one time called me and she was like, hey, Choice, this is like random, but like, I think your sister like changed her number on me and then give me her new number. Cause like I texted her number that I usually text and like it didn't go through. And then I messaged her on Instagram and said, hey girl, everything okay? And your sister was like, oh yeah, everything's fine. But like, I don't know what it is, Choice. But Choice, I think your sister's mad at me. I think your sister's mad at me because I took your side. I think that's why your sister's mad at me. And I remember just being like, oh, like it always just put a bad taste in my mouth. But she just constantly kept showing me who the fuck she was, which made me pivot more and more away from my phone whenever she would call because that bitch was just so two faced and phony. You know what I mean? Like I'll never forget even like other little weird things she would do. Where like because she was like jealous as fuck about the fact that her friends like watch my videos. And again, like I don't know if her friends still watch me. Hey Rachel, Rachel. I don't know if Rachel's watching this, but she was a really big fan of my YouTube videos. Like always watch my videos. And my cousin used to always talk shit about me to her from what I assume. Because there was times where like one time my cousin came over to my apartment before I had like left Florida. And she one time like had came into my apartment and I remember this is what she did. She one time had texted me when because she was gonna sleep over because I guess she had someone she had some reason to be in town. But she had texted me and then she was like, hey Trace, I'm outside, unlock the door. I said, okay, yeah, sure. I unlocked the door. As soon as I unlocked the door for my cousin to come in, 5 minutes later, she literally comes in, she boom, she slams open my fucking door like this, like boom. Like my door literally hit the fucking wall and then she literally walked into my apartment and she was like, oh my God, Choice, what happened to all your weight? And she literally turned her face away. And she was like, oh my God, Rachel, isn't that so cool? Girl, look at all that weight Choice done lost. Rachel, look at my cousin. Isn't that crazy? He done lost all that weight. Look at all that weight he lost. Didn't I tell you he lost all that weight? And then Rachel was like, yeah, I see. Yeah, I did notice. Yeah, I did. I think because Rachel knew that the bitch was being a fucking sneaky, conniving snake, and she was low key throwing shade and coming at me. I think Rachel knew that, but again, I couldn't really process it at the time because I wasn't sure if she was like really trying me or if she just was like weird and had like no social awareness. But I think Rachel, the girl that watched my videos, who's also friends with my evil, conniving ass cousin, who didn't even know we were cousins at the time, I think she clocked it and she peeped it and she knew. Yeah, prove people wrong is the greatest revenge. Hey Troy's love your videos. Thank you, Nafisa. I appreciate you. I'm happy you caught a live. Thank you. Yeah, I did end up getting the last live. I did. Thank you. How long have you been live? Oh my god. I've been live for like literally under an hour. It's about to hit an hour in a little bit. Okay. Excuse me. I'll tell more stories. Just leave a like and I'll tell more family stories. Okay. Tell me if I can get 1,000 likes, I'll tell. But well, okay. Let's be fair. If I can get 500 likes, I'll tell more and more stories. But let me read some of these. Oh wow. Oh, this is your first live. Welcome, Jasmine. I appreciate that. Yes, she hated me. Make sure to like the live. Let's like the live, y'all. Yes. My sister was definitely, I don't know if she was mental. She definitely had issues for sure. Like she definitely had weird mental issues. What is with older people having beef with literal children? It's so annoying. People with emotional maturity will usually beef with children. Yes. Yes. Literally blood everywhere. That's how crazy some of our fights would be. I haven't seen the Day documentary. No, I'm not in Morocco. I'm in Cali. Damn, you cut your family off at 13 and you're 28 now? Troy, do you think she was putting hexes and curses on you? Um, I don't know. I don't think she'd ever succeeded that. Chatisha. Oh, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, Bang Tania. Can you make a video about Amerlin Reed? Problematic ass? I should. But who is that? Yeah, the parents allowed it. You said Glory was slayed from that day forward. Yes, I still talk to my brother for everyone asking. I'm gonna get right back to what I was talking about before. I'm just reading some of these comments. Ooh, you are a real OG. Yes, she one time literally. So yeah, my sibling, my sister, unfortunately did one time have me and my brother. She had me and my brother one time, literally. Well, not me, but my brother, literally babysitting. We were basically babysitting her kid, and she got drunk as fuck from the club because she worked at the club, and she bought some dudes like literally smashing my mother's brand new couch. Literally, this is a story time. It's titled "I effed my sister up." So just look up "I effed my sister up" and you'll see the video. Yeah, that did happen. For everyone that's want to knows more, I'm not. I don't think I can tell the full story because I don't want this to get flagged and demonetized. But yeah, that did happen. You had a dirty ass room that cleaned the fridge with a vacuum. He was white. I don't even think it has to do with him being white. I think he's just fucking stupid. DVD. What did DDG do now? Oh my god. Resentment from half siblings kind of stems from inequality, competition for attention. It starts early, sadly. Yes. No choice. My grandmother also used to pin her kids against each other. Yep. Sometimes the grandmothers be messy. If you wonder why your family dynamic is so fucked up, look at the big mama in the family. Look at the person that's the oldest in the generation and see if they've handled stuff responsibly. And then you'll understand. Do you feel family can show love and shade you at the same time? No, not at all. Love shouldn't be painful. It shouldn't hurt. Any advice for black gays trying to escape their toxic fam? I'm in school, but I need some mentors and advice. What exactly are you going through? Like, how toxic are they? Are you of age? Are you a grown adult? Be more specific about your situation. Send me a tweet or something. Send me an Instagram DM. You said my grandmother was crazy as fuck. One time when me and my sister were in her car during the winter, she locked us in her car and I noticed that she was staring at me while we were both panicking. She was staring at you while y'all were panicking. Oh, that bitch wanted to hurt y'all. That bitch was on some like weird Chucky type shit. My husband and I just broke up and I came back to live with my mom. She said it was for me to save money, but no, she all of a sudden needs money for a bunch of petty stuff. She's probably trying to subconsciously punish you for like taking up space and just feels like, well, if you're gonna be here, you might as well make yourself useful. Maybe she felt like she had to take you in out of obligation, and your mom probably felt like, well, since my daughter's gonna be here, I might as well make her useful for something because she doesn't really want you to be there at all. She actually really hates that you're there, so she thinks that you got to be useful. So just work really, really hard, stack your bread, and maybe try to find a way to get your own shit, even if it's a roommate. Wow, that's terrible. My grandma was abusive to my mom and her siblings, and they all still associate with her. My aunt, the oldest, told me that my grandmother ripped her college acceptance letter up and threw it away behind her back. Yes, okay, heavy on this. So I was just telling y'all a horrid story about how one of my supporters was friends with my evil, toxic relative cousin, right? And I really hope Rachel and her little sister are watching this because Rachel, I'm sorry, I don't remember Rachel. So it was Rachel who's a fan of my YouTube channel and her little sister. I don't remember her name. I think her name was Jasmine. So it was Rachel and Jasmine, and they were both cool with my cousin, and they didn't know that we were cousins. That's the thing. They been know my cousin, but they didn't know that we were related at all. That's why they were friends with her. They started to realize it when she would brag about the fact that we were related because she caught them watching my videos. And yes, she would do weird ass shit sometimes. Someone said, "Thank you for being honest about all the toxic issues within your family. It makes me feel like I'm not crazy about the shit that goes on in my family." My grandma was like that, but we're all sure she's crazy, to be honest with you. Your mom wants to low key control you and your finances. You're gonna have to lie about how much you make. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Yes, you caught my live. Someone said, "What are some alternative ways to find a roommate if you don't have much trusted friends?" Craigslist is okay, but honestly, Facebook. There's people on Facebook that tell their story. So just type in Facebook roommates on Google, put in the city that you live in, Facebook roommates. If you live in Houston, Texas, or if you live in Johannesburg, South Africa, just look up roommate Facebook, Johannesburg, South Africa, or Houston, Texas, and then eventually you'll see people just put in their stories and be like, "Hey, like I'm a fat bitch and I have two dogs and I'm bored and lonely. You know, I'm renting out my room for $9.50 a month. Here's a picture of me. Would you like to live with me?" And then you can go from there. And the best way to tell someone's a scammer is to just talk to them and meet them, ask them for a lease agreement that you both sign so everything's okay, and then you'll be fine. Oh my god, I'm so happy my videos helped you back in 2016. That makes me feel good. Someone said your IG post made me make a little shot. I love that. Did you take a gummy? No, I didn't. I'm just a little bit tired because, man, I don't even know why the fuck I'm tired. I actually ate some tacos at the taco truck, and I think it's starting to hit me a little bit, so I kind of have the itis, but I'm fine. So Let me go back to telling some more of these stories that a lot of y'all really enjoyed. Um, I'm sorry, I kind of got caught up reading comments because I really love that some of y'all tell me that my videos actually helped y'all during these tough and hard ass fucking times. But there were a lot of very interesting and horrific stories that like kind of shaped my reality and perspective about how I view family much more. I have a lot of fucking crazy ass stories. But let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Someone just texted me. Let me respond to this text real quick. Oh, sorry. I'm responding to a friend on. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to be distracted. Okay. This is crazy. Okay, sorry. Anyways, just let me get back to the point. Okay, so just to get back to the point and talk about some things I've gone through, the reason I made a lot of my videos on the internet talking about a lot of my horrid trash and fucked up family, even though some of them may watch these videos and feel away, is because it was content. I didn't have shit to talk about back then. And the thing is, a lot of my videos where I talked about my fucked up family, I did it because nobody was listening to me. Like I would tell my mom, and then sometimes my sister was like fucking with me, stealing my shit, destroying my stuff, saying things like, "Oh, slave, I need some juice." Like doing little weird. Like people are laughing and think that shit's funny, but she was really doing weird shit like that. You know what I mean? Where like she would just do a lot of weird, conniving, weird shit. Like I would be in the shower, she would go through my wallet and just take shit out of my wallet, and I'll never forget one time I was asleep, where one time, because we were living in this fucking luxury ass fucking apartment, because like I said earlier, mom has this fucking obsession with luxury fucking apartments that she can't fucking afford. So we were living in a one bedroom. My room was like the fucking living room. My bed was the fucking living room, because we lived in this one bedroom apartment that my mom could only afford. It was like how much? I think it was like fucking 1,400, 1,500. It was a one bedroom, but it was luxury and it was nice and it had valet trash and oh, it was so, oh my god, my mom fucking pisses me off for some of the dumb shit she did. But basically, I'll never forget. Like I was asleep one time and I woke up and guess what? My phone was like literally on like factory lock. It was like almost like someone tried to literally get into my phone and they got my code wrong on purpose, or they were trying to break into my phone and then it looked like someone had did like 30 attempts to get in. And I woke up, my whole phone was like completely like factory locked because of constant fucked up messed up attempts. It was terrible. And then it was obviously because my sister was trying to break into my phone. A lot of weird dumb shit. And I'll never forget that sometimes we would like go at it with each other. And I used to go in on her. She used to literally look at me and be like, did you know that you were supposed to be an abortion? Mom was supposed to literally fucking abort your ass. And I'd be like, I used to go in on her. I used to be like, okay, well, too bad. Well, at least I'm not a whole ass bitch that sells pussy. Like I used to go in on her. I used to be like, okay, well that's your. Oh, I'm like, okay, well at least not a whole ass bitch that fucking sells pussy. Like I used to say really horrible shit. Like some things I don't even know if I can repeat on YouTube, but I used to say like really fucked up shit because she would like constantly try me. And mind you, I was like 16, 17. She was like 26, 27, just going like trying me constantly. And the reason why it would get worse is because I was constantly responding to her. Like she would say crazy shit. And I'd be like, you mean like your fucking baby father, bitch? Like I was always like going back and like she would always try me. And it wasn't just me. She also was like this with my brother too. But my brother is more reserved and chill and just like doesn't say anything. But I used to like literally call her out and stand up to her. and that's why the problem would grow and expand. And relatives, even my mom, would always just be like, ignore her, ignore her. You know how your sister is, ignore her. And I'm like, bitch, really? And then I got older and I eventually ignored my fucking mom and stopped talking to her ass because I got fucking sick of her always telling me to ignore people fucking trying me and disrespecting me. Sorry, I ate a jalapeno pepper, so my sinuses are acting up. But anyways, um, yeah, I used to say some crazy ass shit. I used to go in on her. Oh my god. Anyways, yeah, so she was saying all types of crazy saying you supposed to be an abortion. She was saying things like you're a fucking faggot, you a straight up fag. Oh my god, I used to go in on her and I used to be like, okay, well, you're a fucking loser ass bitch that doesn't have any fucking money. And she would like I would go in, and there was this one time, oh my god, there was this one time where uh oh my god! I remember she was like, "Fuck you, you bitch ass nigga, you faggot ass nigga. Fuck you, eat my fucking pussy, nigga." Like she literally would say crazy ass shit like that. Like our arguments got dirt. Like I would say some crazy ass shit, and I'd be like, "Okay, bitch, you're just mad because you got a fucking record and you can't get a job, bitch." Like it was low blows, and it was constant back and forth. What was her sign? She was a Libra. At 25 with a fully developed brain, her being like that is crazy. Again, watch a lot of those videos that I made. Just type in Choice TV sister and just watch those videos that I made years ago or Choice TV family, and you'll see like some of these things were filmed, right? Some of these things were recorded, like the audio were recorded on some of these things, right? So if some of y'all be like, oh, maybe no, 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 go back and watch those videos from over 10 years ago, and you'll see. Tell the story about how you caught her having sex on the couch. Yeah, she was drunk out of her fucking mind, and oh my god, that was horrible, horrible. Like it was a bloody ass fight. It was horrible. I still could never look at her the same after that. But yeah, she definitely did some weird shit. Libras are normally nice. Sometimes I would hate to get in an argument with you. I don't even like to argue. Do you speak to your mother? We're cordial, but at a distance. No, I can't come to the family gatherings. No, I can't come to Thanksgiving. No, or I'll see. Maybe I'll think about it. That's unfortunately how it is. I wonder too. Oh, well, you know who else is Libra? Queen Naja laughed my ass off. That's funny. You're eating each other up. Can you tell a story about her you never told? Hmm. What's a story that I've never told? Let me think about this for a second, because that's a really good question. I kind of like left this shit in the past so many years ago. I know there's more stories. Let me see. There's a good amount. Let's see. There was this one time where let's see. I guess I could tell. Let me see. Hmm. Okay. I was gonna tell the story about how she put my bucket hats in the oven and they had like burnt stains on them. And they were like burnt, crispy marks on them, and she put like my hats in the oven. And then I had a whole video where I had a big ass black trash bag of all the hats that she put in the oven, and I just started like showing them, saying, "This fucking raggedy ass crusty bitch. She had to fucking burn my shit. Look at these fucking burnt marks, ugly fucking raggedy bitch." Big nose bitch. Like I was going in. I was showing like how crispy and burnt they were and how there were skid marks on them. Oh my god, it was terrible. I literally had a big trash bag full of that. That was the video I think where I talked about how I went dumpster diving. I'm gonna put all these videos in the playlist if you guys want. If you want me to put them in a playlist, just let me know, and then I'll just like literally. I can do that right now too if I want to. Why not? Choice, remember when your friend from high school got you to join the pyramid scheme? That was the first video I watched from you. Left my ass. Like, what happened to her? Is she still in an MLM? I doubt it. Most people who are in MLMs don't even stay in MLMs anything more than a year. Like nobody ever stays in the MLM longer than a year. And I wouldn't be surprised if she left after a few months. That was Pam. I remember her. Yeah, that was Pam. I'll never forget her. I haven't talked to her since I went off on her. By blood everywhere, I mean it was a bloody fight. We were punching, kicking each other. It was a really bad fight. Oh, thank you. Been watching since 2019. You're so entertaining and you helped me get over a horrible relationship. I'm sorry, I just had to read this text real quick. My sinuses are acting up because of those fucking tacos I ate. I talked to my mom. Me and my mother are cordial, right? We're cordial. We're cool. We have some understandings, so we're cool. I didn't talk to my mother for like literally 5 years. So when I cut her off, I cut her off. I didn't speak to her. Literally went no contact for 5 years, and it was the best decision I ever made. So I said, why was she trying to cook them for dinner? She just wanted them to be fucked up and burnt. Did you ever miss them or have good memories with them? I had some good memories, but do I miss them? Absolutely not. Fuck them. Like not to be like fuck them, like F y'all, I hate y'all, but like the bad can just outweigh the good. Someone said you could retell. Okay, I could retell some stories because again, I told so many stories. It was some of them I don't even really remember until some of y'all bring them up, and I'm like, oh shit, that did happen. You know what I mean? That's kind of how it is. What are your thoughts on the war crime that Trump committed? Yeah, horoscopes don't define people's personality. When are you making documentaries again? Okay, I can do documentaries again about pop culture stuff and like TV shows that ended. I could try again. I'll do another one, but I want to. I don't know. I do have an idea about another documentary I want to make, but I want it to be like the right timing. Thank you for the stupid chat, Christina. I appreciate you. Did the neighbors ever complain? Ooh, that's an interesting story. So one time we had actually got evicted, right? Shocker, right? So basically, again, like I told y'all earlier, my mom had a habit of always getting homes and apartments and luxury condos that she could not fucking afford. So we ended up really getting evicted out of one, and we ended up living in like somebody's guest house for a little bit. So it was like somebody's big ass house, and it was like a chunk of their house they rented for like $700 a month. And then basically, me and my brother were living in it. Everything was cool. It was kind of like we had our own apartment. And then eventually, like my mom would bring groceries and shit like that. It was a hard time. And then my sister, she was living with her child's father, who she was kind of like on and off with. And then they couldn't get along because the nigga was like pulling knives on her and shit like that because she was talking to niggas on the phone and all types of weird shit and all types of crazy. It was ugly. It was bad. And then she had to leave her child's father home, and she bought her and her child to live in a guest house with me and my brother that my mom had rented out for us until she could save her money and get. And then it got so bad sometimes. Me and my sister would like go back and forth in this guest house, and then there would be arguments that would escalate. One time, the girl literally argued with me right as I'm getting ready for school. We got into this ugly ass argument over weird shit, and then it was so bad to the point where like the neighbor who like was living in the main house was complaining because he heard us yelling and arguing and screaming at each other. I don't really remember what the fuck we were arguing about, but I remember, yeah, the person that was like in the front of the house heard us, and he complained to my mom saying, "What's all that noise? Why do I hear two people yelling?" But it was because my sister was like trying me and starting with me again. Oh, and I'll never forget. There were times where she would do other little weird shit, right? There were times where basically where, um, like for example, like I'll never forget. There were times where like, hold on, my bad, fuck, the screw came out of my fucking chair. There was this really crazy ass moment I'll never forget, where like sometimes where I would be like literally sitting on the bed or like sitting on the couch, and if there was like a blanket on the couch, she would literally pick up the blanket, and if it had crumbs on it, like for example, like if her daughter was like eating like cookies and chips and shit like that, if there were like crumbs on the blanket, she would legitimately pick up the fucking like blanket and she would like dust off and shake the crumbs on me. Literally, like I'm chilling on my phone, sitting down on the couch or sitting down on the bed, or like she would like see her daughter's like blanket lying around and she would go like this, like literally shake the crumbs on me and literally like walk off. Evil bitch. I'm sorry. And I'm laughing because I had a friend in high school who I used to vent about all this shit to. And I'm like, bro, my fucking whole ass sister literally like took a fucking blanket with like fucking goldfish and cookie crumbs and she shook that shit on me and walked off. And my friend was just like, let me tell you something, Choice. If your sister was my sister, I would have looked at her straight. So sorry. Her name was Corey. I miss her so much. I had a friend in high school I used to vent all this to. I miss her. So Corey was like, let me tell you something, Choice. If that were me and your sister shook all them fucking crumbs on me, oh, I would have looked at that bitch dead in her face and been like, bitch, if one of them crumbs I got on my motherfucking eye, she said she told me this. She was like, Choice, you should. This is what I would have did. You should do this too. She was like, I would look at your sister and be like, bitch, and if one of them crumbs had got on my motherfucking eye, the minute you shook them covers, Corey literally, she was a good friend of mine in high school. She literally used to like, she helped me get through a lot of shit that I was going through with like my sister and shit like that, and family issues when I would vent to her. And she would literally say to me, she was like, the minute that bitch shook them covers on me, I would have been like, she was like, the minute the covers shook up, she wouldn't see my ass coming. She used to make me laugh. I used to tell her all this stuff. And she used to watch my videos before like my channel like really blew. Ooh, someone said, can you talk about when she messed with your ring light? Yeah, I ordered a ring light and she ended up stealing it. She ended up stealing my ring light. And yeah, she took that shit. She ended up stealing it. And then during an argument, I asked my mom, like, yo, did this bitch take my shit? Like, where's my ring light? Order a ring light so I can make YouTube videos. What's going on? And my sister had been like, oh, I don't know what he's talking about. Nothing ever came, but it wasn't true. Like, a package actually did come. And then basically, yeah, my ring light ended up going missing. She took it after like it never got delivered, but it did because Amazon said it got delivered. And then I'll never forget, after my ring light was missing and it was gone, there was this weird ass moment where we got into a crazy argument like days later. And she had literally said, aha, you stupid bitch. Aha, that's why I fucking took your shit. So she ended up admitting that she did take my ring light, which was really horrible. We used to go at it, like we really had it out for each other, but she really had it out for me. And a lot of it stemmed from a lot of things. Mostly stemmed from the fact that we're half siblings, and two, I think she also has some resentment because she helped raise me and my brother, and we grew up to just not like her because she was just controlling and abusive. Like again, like I told you, oh slave, I need some fruit punch, like little weird shit like that, treating us like we're her fucking minions and shit. And my brother just wouldn't say anything, but I used to call her out. Like the older I got, the more I was like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why are you doing that? Like, what's wrong with you? I used to go off on her all the time, but I don't talk to me like that at 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. I used to always respond and tell her, like, what is wrong with you? I used to go off because in my head, it was like, you're not my mom, you're my sister, you're not my fucking mom, don't tell me what to do. And that would make things worse. And it gradually grew and manifested into more issues because she felt like she could treat us and abuse us and treat us a certain way. And I always just stand up for myself. And she would always go around saying, She would go around saying, "No, it's because he's rude. It's because Choice is rude. It's because Choice has a mouth on him." But it's like, no, I was always defending myself, and relatives would always kind of like for a while see her perspective and be like, well, you're not your sister and she's the oldest, so it's whatever. But she could never do that to their kids. If she did that to their kids, it'd be a different story. My sister can get away with doing it to me when I was younger because my mom never did anything because my mom was always working full time. My mom was a caregiver, always out, always in the fucking clinics, always there, always doing like personal caregiving for like a senior citizen. My sister felt like she could do these kind of things and she felt like she can get away with it. And she took advantage of that power dynamic until we had to fight a couple times and things got bad. Yeah, my sister definitely failed me. And I love that you said I would never try to fight my siblings. Yeah, she definitely failed me as an older sister. She failed me and my brother. She failed us as an older sibling, which is kind of sad because, we got older and we both don't fuck with her anymore. And it's not just me, it's my brother as well. Like, he also does not like her as well because she did a lot of weird ass shit. She did a lot of weird shit, disrespecting our stuff, taking our stuff, stealing our stuff, a bunch of little weird stuff, weird petty stuff. And sometimes I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of my cousins that I talked about earlier in this video, excuse me, my female cousins, even though they were messy as fuck and we all had like family feuds and all didn't get along at some point, my cousins would try to bond with my sister as like a way of like, I guess you could say, creating togetherness. Because sometimes when you have relatives that don't get along, but they all equally don't get along with the same person in a certain sense, they'll try to bond and use one relative to scapegoat. Like, oh, okay, well, you don't get along with Choice. Okay, well, Choice annoys me too sometimes. Okay, Choice annoys me too. And then they would all like kind of like gang up and like do weird shit to me. But it wasn't like a way where they make it obvious. They would save face. They would do it in a sneaky way. So I had a cousin who would always lurk my YouTube channel, look at my stuff. She would screenshot my YouTube videos and then send it to my sister to try to create chaos. Like I'd make a video ranting about like how fucked up the family is and how crazy shit I'm going through and how I can't wait till I become an adult to move out. She would screenshot it and she would send it to my sister. And I knew this because my mom used to tell me. Mom would be like, Troy, stop posting stuff about the family on your YouTube channel. Like your cousin Sam is literally screenshotting it and she's sending it to your sister being messy. I'll never forget my mother telling me that. I hope a lot of these things I'm saying like make sense. I hope I'm not all scattered all over the place, and I hope some of the things I'm saying can help people reflect on some things. Because again, uh, I talk about these things because they do help people. Like some of these things are horrible. Like when I tell these stories, a lot of y'all laugh and be like, "Oh my god, that's so crazy!" But it helps people because there's somebody out there that's actually going through shit. Like a lot of people tell me that they are scared to talk about how fucked up and conniving and just dreadful a lot of their relatives are because they don't want to seem like they're problematic for like telling their family business. But sometimes we gotta like let it be known that a lot of us come from piece of shit fucking relatives who just are awful people, and it's best to just talk about it. And again, like a lot of this stuff was from so many years ago, but I just rather talk about it because it's always helped people. People still come up to me and talk about this stuff. Like some people still tell me, like, "Oh my god, I remember watching your videos from years ago, like you talking about your evil ass sister, about how she used to break your shit, steal your stuff, damage your stuff, and so much more." Like people still talk about it. People be like, "Oh my god, like I used to watch your videos about your sister like all the time." Like people always tell me that when they meet me. Someone said, "Please stay live for at least 5 more hours." Maybe. I have dating for my sister when I was younger, but now we are older. We might just have some nasty words, but we usually move on. Do you speak Creole? Yes, I do a little bit. French Creole, yes. So I'm 21. I got fired from almost every job. I don't know what I want to do for my career, but it's been 7 to 8 months and I can't find a job. Honestly, what would you do for free? That's the best thing I can do if you want to figure out what you want to do for. What do you actually like? You like to paint? Do you like cosmetics? Do you like cosmetology stuff? Do you like computers? Do you like TikTok? And if you can't find another job, sign up for a temp agency or apply to at least 20 jobs a day, and I'm sure you'll find one. I've been good. Thank you for asking. What made you speak to your mother again? She ended up calling me out of nowhere because she got my number from my father. And I was just like, "How'd you get my number?" And she was like, "Your father gave it to me." And I don't really talk to my father anymore, but like I kind of called my dad a long time ago to get closure on so many things that he did because I feel like he didn't really protect me or save me. Even when I was going through stuff with my sister, I'd be like, "Dad, this is going on. Dad, this is going on. This is going on. The bitch trying me." Da da da. And my dad would be like, well, just ignore her, just ignore it. She just messed up. She just this, she just that. But my dad was just like broken homeless. So my dad couldn't really even fucking do anything. Choice Raven Simone Baxter was right about the Ace family the whole time. What was I right about? Were you physically abused? Oh my god. Me and my sister used to fist fight. So yeah, definitely physical abuse. I just answered this question. What initiated the reunion between you and your mom? I already answered that. First, talk about Mary had a little lamb. I'm all ears. Have you been keeping up with Mary Jane? She's doing lives begging for money now. People have been telling me that she got on live crying one time because people wouldn't donate to her trips. How do you feel about the Day documentary? I'm gonna watch it and then I'll talk about it. The algorithm has been pushing Mary Jane Byarm's lives hard to me. Now that I see what I see, I can't unsee it. Yes, watch the playback. I know some of y'all are late who are just coming in here. Some of y'all are like upset that because again, when I went live, I usually announce it very, very late. So yeah, that's kind of what it was. So I'm sorry. Let me catch up some of these comments. Again, I'm really happy and grateful that so many people are in this live stream, tuned in, and are enjoying this. Somebody said maybe being an only child isn't that bad. Maybe it isn't, to be honest with you, because at least everything is yours, and your siblings can be your cousins. The people who could fill that sibling void could be your friends from school. But yeah, sometimes with your siblings, they're either your best friend that you're hella cool with, or people that you just don't care for, don't speak to. This I don't know. I left a long time ago. I left when my niece was about 5 years old, so I don't know. I'm sure she's probably like a teenager now, so I don't know. She sounds torturous. Yep. You told Mary Jane get a job, and she said begging's her job. That's crazy. Yes, I am. I'm friends with both of them. Someone said they used to bite their sister's hair out. That's interesting as fuck. Oh, it already did. Okay, so after I left and I moved out and I kept my distance and shit like that, she ended up going to jail. So she actually has a mugshot. I talked about it in my video. So just go watch my video on my second channel titled Destined Choice, where I talked about like my dad trying to like legit scam me. Well, not scam me, but my dad basically tried to put utilities and bills in my brother's name. And he like falsified shit to get some like internet or cable in my brother's name, and then he didn't pay it, and my brother's credit, it ended up hitting my brother's credit, which was really terrible. Yeah, having beef with children was so weird. And then once I turned like 25 and 26, I remember just being like, oh my God, like I couldn't imagine doing some of the shit that my sibling was doing to me, to a 15 and 16-year-old. It's crazy. Yeah. Someone said slave. What do you mean by that? That's what my sister used to refer to me and my brother as when she wanted us to like do shit around the house for her. How did you grow your chosen family after separating from your family? I traveled a lot and I tried to have a stable social life, and I'm just open and talkative and friendly with new people. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Alchemy Gem. What's up, Choice? Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you too. Hope you're having amazing holidays. I know the feeling. My older siblings are the same. Let's see. Oh my god. Another story. One time my sister literally burnt me with an iron. I'll never forget that she literally like I was like one time like I was like playfully fake sleeping on the floor. And then I'll never forget she like plugged in the iron for like a few minutes. And you know what she did? She literally plugged in the iron for a few minutes and then she literally like let it so for like I'll say like maybe like a minute and a half or so. And then she like literally plugged in the iron and then she burnt me with it on my fucking leg. And if I were to bring this up to her, she'd probably be like, "I never did that. That's not true." She burned me with the fucking iron one time. And then let's see. Um, hold on. It's a lot of interesting stories that I have. A lot of these stories I told on YouTube already, and they were funny as fuck the way I told them because I had so much passion. I was so angry and I was so irritated and I was going in. And they weren't funny, but it was funny to see people's reactions to it. Because I was like, it was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. And I remember I used to go in on her and I used to be like, "You're a fucking high school dropout, bitch. You're a fucking high school dropout. You don't have shit going on, you stupid ass bitch." Like, I used to say all this stuff to her at like fucking 14. And she'll be like, "Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Yeah, I dropped out. And you still in school. And you still in school. And you still in school." Sorry. It was funny because I was in high school. So it's like, bitch, of course I'm still in school. Where the fuck else would I be? I don't want to go to I don't want to get my mom in jail, bitch. Why would I not be in school? Yeah, these stories were all over YouTube. Yeah, I've healed from it. I laugh a lot of these things now. They weren't funny at the time, but they were funny when I was telling them because some of y'all thought they were funny. And that's why, because it was the way I was telling the story. I have no fucking idea, to be honest with you. Hey, Troy, you back in LA? Ever hit Mushy Girls up? Thanks for reminding me. I never did. I am back in LA. I will. I actually will hit up Mushy Girls. It's a mushroom brand for psychedelic mushrooms. I'm gonna actually write that down. I just wrote this down. Thank you for reminding me again. Distracted reality. Did your family start acting different when you lost weight? I had already cut them off by the time I lost the weight. I had already mentioned that story with that shady, conniving cousin that made that comment in front of her friend who was also my supporter. But she was like, "Oh my god, Choice, what happened to all your weight?" That was one thing she did run me the wrong way. And that was like very much jealousy because I think a lot of it stemmed from the fact that she probably liked and enjoyed the gossip of me being heavier. You kept the same number? No, my number has been changed. I've really changed my number like 5 times. Yes, my dad is Haitian. Appearing on Ariana Grande, I like her music. That's it. Well, her old stuff, not her new stuff. Me being 25, I can't imagine fighting with a 15-year-old. Shit, me either. It's Baby's another video. My mom's family legit tried to kill her, and she's still cool with them. Can't even make this shit up. Shake my head. Yeah, your mom is probably gonna have to wake up one day and learn the hard way. That's the sad part. Cynthia Erivo's relationship with Ariana Grande, they seem like have a very close, tight knit relationship. Let's see. Somebody said, "Could you and your sister issue be?" Someone's like, "Could you and your sister's issue be because of natural sibling fights that got out of hand, or were just sensitive, or were you just sensitive?" No, it wasn't natural sibling fights that got out of hand. It was kind of like my mom as well. My mom kind of played a big role. My mom always compared her children with each other, which did make things worse. So it did stir some sibling rivalry and jealousy. And also, I don't think you were here at the beginning of. I'm sorry, I didn't even click on your message. You weren't here at the beginning where I discussed how a lot of these things escalated with my mom comparing her children together, everybody growing in dysfunction, people trying to find a scapegoat in toxic families. Because when there's a scapegoat, someone that they can all gang up on and attack, uh, it creates togetherness. So sometimes when people don't really have shit else in common other than being dysfunctional, they love to just come together, get along, and attack one particular person. And again, this isn't like me being like, oh my God, what was me? I'm the victim. It's like, this is shit that they all did to each other. So I think you just came into the live, but I talked about how, my mom had her own issue with her own sisters. My grandmother was messy as fuck. And my grandmother was a messy ass. I'm sorry. Forgive me. My grandmother was a messy bitch. Like, she really was. She was conniving. She literally turned her daughters against each other. Her daughters don't even talk to her anymore. That's a whole other story for another day. But it's just dysfunction. And also, my sister had a lot of resentment because she did help raise me and my brother when she was like 9, 10 years old at the early stages of our lives because my mom couldn't afford a babysitter and my dad wasn't fully present. And me and my sister were also half siblings. So it's kind of like my dad came into the picture, met my mom in the night, way back in the day, and long story short, he like got my mom pregnant with me and my brother, and essentially he just like was abusive and he just dipped off and said, whatever, fuck these kids, and left my mom to raise these kids. And then here's my half sister who was here before us, who's 10 years older, who is just like, damn, like this fucking man just came into our lives and just dropped off these fucking kids and gave me these fucking kids. You had as babies, and now I'm stuck having to help you fucking take care of them and pick up the pieces from you being heartbroken in this fucking relationship. It's kind of like that. So it's deeper. It's not just sibling issues that just escalated me being sensitive. So definitely watch the playback when you get a chance. And again, I have a lot of videos about like sibling and family issues. When you get a chance, just type in my YouTube channel name and type in family and then type in sister, and you'll see so many videos that explain a lot of this stuff. And the reason I'm talking about it is because a lot of this stuff are things that I've talked about for years. And these are stories that people have resonated with, that have spoken to them because of horrific things that I've seen and dealt with and shit like that. And it's not like woe is me. It's like an ongoing generational pattern for a lot of relatives. And the odd thing is none of them are cool anymore. Let me see. Oh Lord, what are y'all doing for Christmas? What are y'all doing for Christmas vacation? I'm spending money. Don't spend shit. Well, I mean, you probably have kids, so it's different. Why do they all look so anorexic? I mean, it could be a lot of things. It could be coke. It could be so many things. Why Ariana Grande looks the way she does, but that's just my opinion. It could be coke. It could be a lot of weird stuff. Body dysmorphia, a bunch of shit. No, I do not have holiday plans. When are you going to choose to heal from it? I've already healed from it many years ago. Someone said, did she drop out in kindergarten? Did you? Oh, sorry. Did you list your apartment on Airbnb? How do you go about subleasing? Just sublease it. If your landlord doesn't say you can't, then go for it, or maybe ask his permission. Is that your cousin with you in one of your videos when y'all was outside? Yes, that is my cousin. Where she was doing my makeup. Yeah, that's one of that. That's one of them. That was on some sneaky, weird, conniving shit for sure. Awkwardly enough, yes. You jet lag, I see. Yeah, that long ass flight fucked me up and fucked up my whole sleep schedule. Like my mental clock is still rewiring and being fixed because I'm in a whole new time zone. Do you have family in New York? There are a lot of Haitians here. I have relatives. I wouldn't call them family. I don't even know them people that live in New York. I mean, yeah, but yeah, I definitely have people that I'm related to in New York. No problem, Shanita. I'm happy you got to get some insight. Someone said, okay, can we switch topics now? Okay, sure, we can switch topics. Okay, we can switch topics for sure. So we're gonna pivot in a different direction. Okay, give me a second. Sorry about this. Let me fix this a little bit. Okay, so I want to get back to my upload schedule, right? So I definitely want to make more channel announcements and say that I definitely want to get back on board with doing more YouTube videos about documentaries, commentaries about a lot of stuff. At the moment, I actually lost my camera lens. So right now, like I do have a camera, but like the lens, I ended up losing it. I left it like in an Airbnb, which I'm really upset about when I was in Brazil. So I had to buy a whole new one, and I'm currently waiting for it to come in the mail, and it will come in the mail very soon. And when it does come in the mail, I'm gonna get right back on track with filming more content. So I have a lot of video ideas I'm gonna make, and again, every single day, if I can't do a YouTube video, I'll definitely do a live stream. So every day before midnight, West Coast time, there's gonna be a video. Like I'm not playing any fucking games. I just want to go in and really be like and really take content creating really seriously and also go hard doing Vlogmas because Vlogmas is like the era where you know ads are looking even better. And then also I also want to do Vlogmas. I've never really done Vlogmas before. Like I want to do it like where I'm consistent. Like I'm already on day 5, but I want to go hard this time. So be on the lookout for that. If anybody has like any suggestions or recommendations for any YouTube videos that you want to see, please feel free to let me know. Also, I have so many other things planned, so many things I want to release. I'll do a yearly recap soon, but I have a lot of things. I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break with traveling because I do feel like I have to prioritize traveling more. I mean, filming more content more and producing content that is useful and relatable and that does well. So yes, I talked about a plethora of different shit in the story on this live stream. Let me just say that I actually really appreciate everyone who came through. Um, okay, so yes, I talked about a plethora of stuff. Everybody that is coming here saying, "Oh my God, what do we talk about?" You're gonna have to watch the playback. But yes, expect me to be going hard nonstop. We're literally about to hit 2 hours on this live stream. If anybody has any additional questions before I get off of here, please let me know. But yes, I will definitely be going hard. Let me see. Vlogs. Okay, people sometimes ask me to do vlogs, but sometimes it'd be like, excuse my jet lag. As you can see, long ass fucking flight. I literally came back from Brazil, which was one of the most amazing experiences ever and one of the best countries ever. Like I love Brazil. Brazil is so much fun, but oh my god, that flight from Brazil getting back to America. Oh my god, that flight is fucking nuts. That flight is like, well, it's not that bad. I've been on worse flights. It's like on average like 12 hours, like 12 to 15 hours, which isn't even that bad. I've been on flights that are like 28 hours. And I've even done buses. I've even done 25-hour buses. Wait, hold on, wait, what? Okay, yes, I'll do the Young Pharaoh documentary. Oh, yeah. Jet lag. Oh, I hate that it's doing that to me. Are you still gonna do that Young Pharaoh documentary? Yes. Matter of fact, I should start working on that now. Why not? What about the Nigerian woman who got scammed by her white boyfriend? What's your take on that? What Nigerian woman got scammed by her white boyfriend? Can you give me some names, please? I was about to go to Brazil for New Year's, but they're sending a lot of U.S. troops to Venezuela. Venezuela and Brazil are two different countries. I really still think you should just go to Brazil. But just I'll be real with you. Sometimes there's a lot of like awkwardness when Brazilians ask you where you from. Nowadays, it's not everybody, but sometimes if you tell a Brazilian where you're from in Brazil, they'll be like, "Oh, United States, America. Oh my God, that Trump of yours." People kind of make you the center of politics when you tell them where you're from. It's like they kind of appreciate the impact and the influence America has, but when you go to a lot of countries, they kind of resent that at the same time. So, yeah, people can be really cold towards Americans now because of our politics. You should do a meet and greet. I've already done one in London, but I'll do another one in like LA, Atlanta, Chicago, Memphis, Tennessee, Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'll definitely do a meet and greet in Philly, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I'll definitely do another one in Miami, Florida, where I'm from, and I guess I could do one in Minneapolis, Minnesota. You think the public's trying to force Nicki Minaj and her little sister to have a relationship? Nicki Minaj said it herself. She thinks her sister's a fucking leech. Hey Zincy, I remember you. You're from New York City. I remember you. Hi Choice. I know I've been pretty silent, but to be honest, I've been pretty depressed. So I broke down at work to my bosses. They suggest I take a mental break. Should I do it even though I really need money? You said you really need the money. And if you really don't want to take the mental break, it that tells me that your mental breakdown was probably because you need more money. So honestly, maybe you don't need a mental break. If you feel like you don't need one, maybe you shouldn't take one. The only thing I could say is this is maybe do some mushrooms. That's my solution for a lot of things. Do some magic mushrooms. If you can't do that, then I would say sit down and write down all the things that are pissing you off and write down why you aren't trying to eliminate them. Just try to process and rationalize and intellectualize your thoughts. My other third option is this: if you don't want to do shrooms and you don't want to write down your thoughts, vent to Chat GPT. Like it sounds crazy as fuck, but just vent to Chat GPT. Sometimes Chat GPT can help you figure out your issues and be an unbiased perspective. So try those three things if that can help. But because again, like if you need the money, there's no point in taking the break because again, if you fucking You know what I mean? Like if you need the money and you generally have to pay your bills, I mean they're looking out for your best interest because they don't want you to like, embarrass yourself or make a fool of yourself at work. And you do need the money, but I would say try to rationalize and figure out your thoughts. The person I want to go with doesn't want to go, but I look racially ambiguous, so I think I'll be fine. When I went to Mexico and Puerto Rico, they thought I was one of them. To be honest, go. Brazil is lit as fuck. Brazil was so much fun. I was there for 2 months. Just go and don't go there trying to speak Spanish. Just use Google Translate everywhere you go, and you'll be fine. Oh yes, LA meet and greet. I'll still do that because I live in LA. Because when oh yeah, New York City, duh. Nashville, I love Nashville, Tennessee. I went there one time. Lovely T had an event there, and it was so much fun. Oh, your family's from LA? Speaking of you saying your family's from LA, I bet I can guess where you're from. I can bet that you're from the IE. You're more than likely from the IE, the Inland Empire, because everyone that says, "Oh, my family's from LA," "Oh, my parents are from LA," or "My cousins are from LA," you're from the IE. Because during the 1980s, 1990s, they gave a lot of housing vouchers to a lot of Black families to move to the IE, the Inland Empire, which is like a 60-minute, 50-minute drive with traffic outside of LA. I was listening to a podcast when I was asleep and woke up to myself talking in my sleep, responding. Wow, that's weird. New York, absolutely. Oh, Danish Deception is a Nigerian girl got scammed by her Danish boyfriend slash husband, and I mean she was stupid. Someone said this advice: go to work. Someone said vengeance of ChatGPT has actually helped me a lot. It really is helpful talking to a fucking robot that's not real and has no human emotions. I mean, it helps you because sometimes they really be doing research and they try their best to give you the best possible answer based off of what they think you need to hear and based off of research. And their ChatGPT is fair. ChatGPT is great. I'm an antidepressant, and I'm on antidepressants. It's so great. They've been trying to cancel me for venting to ChatGPT. Show well, have you ever been to Boston? I have not been to Boston, but I would love to. I know there's a lot of history there. I know it's an old city. I know that it's a chill city. I know that it's clean as fuck. And I know it's expensive as hell. I've never been though. Chat has fixed my life, lol. It really has. What artists were your Spotify wrapped? Tina Marie, The Weeknd, and Cardi B's album, but mostly Tina Marie and The Weeknd. So yeah, Tina Marie, classic singer, love her. If there's one thing I can tell you right now is that Tina Marie is my favorite singer of all time. I can't get enough of her music. And then The Weeknd is awesome. And then I think after that, who else was on my list? I don't remember. I think SZA was on my list too. Your Haitian mother disowned you after you moved out and you know how to feel you're 20. Give it some time. You still need more time to process shit. Yeah, create balance. Don't get all stuck on AI and rely on it too much. Oh, really? Okay, that's actually good news to hear. Someone said yes. Venture to ChatGPT reminds me why I was mad at people or why I cut them off. Sometimes I be forgetting why I'd be mad in the first place and set boundaries. So somebody said, let me see. Therapists and psychiatrists are expensive as fuck. So ChatGPT is a cheap alternative. Somebody said when I use ChatGPT, I got a bike, I got a job like you said. Oh my god. I'm proud of you, Thick Easy. I love that. Yes. Use ChatGPT for your resume. And like I said, you gotta make sure your resume is AI proof. Because if not, you're not gonna get any interviews. Hope you and your bro are doing well. Yes, we are. Oh, hey, Zincy. Okay, let me see what Zincy said. Zincy was the girl that said earlier that she was having a lot of mental health issues, and her job is telling her to take a break because she had a mental breakdown with her bosses, with her boss. And they told her to take her mental break, get a mental break. And you said you need the money. So I suggested to her, for those of you who just came in or weren't paying attention, to use mushrooms, microdose of magic mushrooms, which are always great. A lot of Native Americans do it and South Americans do it. Or um, you can, what was the second advice I gave her? Oh, write down all the reasons and things that are making you upset and angry and try to decipher why you're not getting rid of them and what you can do to get rid of them. And then I said, Chat GPT. Tell Chat GPT everything you're fucking going through because obviously you're not going to tell us a lot of the shit you got going on because it's a public platform. It's, some things are too personal, but Chat GPT will keep between y'all. And you can also ask Chat GPT a gazillion questions. So I would say everything you typed in here, talk to Chat GPT and give it more details. And I think you'll be fine. Maybe I'll try to use ChatGPT because I'm overwhelmed when I go to therapy, but it ain't enough once a week for my current mental state. ChatGPT will be fine. If you don't want to do shrooms or you don't want to write down your problems, ChatGPT will get you right. That Nigerian lady was married to an old white man. He kicked her out and got a young black girl to replace her. Typical passport bro that goes to Africa. If ChatGPT ever gets leaked, I'm done. That'd be really awkward. Have you ever been to Guatemala or El Salvador? I just got back 2 months ago and it was beautiful. I didn't do resorts. I stayed around the people. I love that. I've never been to Guatemala or El Salvador, but I love Guatemalan food. And El Salvadorian food I've never really had before. Yes, you can alternate with ChatGPT and make it unbiased and make it tell you the unsugar-coated truth. Choice, how come the cost of living keeps rising up, but the minimum wage isn't? Um, I think corporations are just cheap as fuck and just don't want to accommodate people. I would say if you want more money, the best thing to do is to stack up certification. There's so many certifications you can get on Google for free. Coursera too. If y'all ever heard of Coursera, go on it, download it. There's so many courses on Coursera.com that you can literally take, study for right then and there, and take it the same day, and then you can get a certification. Try Coursera. Coursera is a really lit thing to have because it gives you access to so many different courses and resume and certifications. Yeah, I love that for you. Your credit score improved of talking to ChatGPT. I heard the mushrooms gotta find you. Ha ha ha. Baby, if you want them shits, go find them. Finally caught it alive. I'm happy you're here, but I'm about to get the fuck off of here very soon. What you know about Tina Marie? You definitely got good. You definitely got your you definitely got good music taste. I appreciate that. Thank you. Honestly, I love Tina Marie, the Ivory Queen of Soul. I can't get enough of her. Her voice is so pretty. Mushrooms, I mean, yeah, I guess you can consider them drugs. Mushrooms come from the earth. They grow from cow shit. They grow from fungus. They're like actual mushrooms, and they help. They help you literally travel and discover and go deep into yourself. Choice, oh my god, yes. My mom moved to the IE from San Diego though. Oh, okay, okay, okay. That side is in LA. Speaking of my mom, she really loved your Tina Marie video. She was actually the first concert my mom took me. Really, that was actually the first concert my mom took me to as a little girl. I love that. The video that I made about uh black women singers that ended up being white. I'm glad your mom loved it. Thank you. I didn't understand how special that concert was, but so grateful now looking back. Yeah, especially because Tina Marie's no longer with us. You're blessed to have seen her in person. Oh, you're turning in from Dubai. Shout out to you, Zulu. I've always wanted to visit. Good night, Troyes. You're real. You're authentic, and that's why you stand out. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And thank you for sending the super chat. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. ChatGPT has been reading my rights lately. So you should try some pupusas and horchata. I've had horchata and I've had pupusas, and they're nothing special. But then again, it could just be what I had. Let me see. Someone said, "Damn, it really has been 2 hours." I thought about a lot of stuff, but honestly, I'm probably gonna get the hell off of here very soon. And again, I'm very grateful to all the 600 people that came here. If you guys can, could you guys please like the live stream? I really would appreciate that. Been watching you for hours, studying for finals. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Someone said, okay, I'll admit it. Troyes, you like put me back in a comfort space. Ever since I was 13 and found your channel, I always say if but you're like my lucky internet. You're lucky my internet brother. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And again, thank you for even like offering to like I think that was you that had offered to cook Guyanese food for me. Thank you so much. Oh my god, I forgot I'm actually gonna be in New York soon. I don't know if I have time. That's why I don't even know if I want to hit you up because I have to go to Long Island. Long Island is not that far from where you're from, right? Long Island is pretty close to Queens. I have to go to Long Island for a wedding. I love Dubai. I eat shawarmas every morning for breakfast. LOL. Thank you for the super chat, Sugar 008. I appreciate that. Love you too. Choice is our internet brother. Thank you, Amira. Yeah, shrooms don't show up on a drug test. They just don't. Shrooms are like actual mushrooms that you could fucking eat. Watching you and others help my nerves. Thank you. I've been watching you for the come. I'll always be open to cook for you. Thank you. I've been waiting for you to come. Choice thoughts on B2K getting back together. I think it's a ridiculous idea, but maybe they're back together for the tour. I don't think they're actually back together making music. Let's see. Choice TV, did you go back to Morocco yet? No, I did not go back to Morocco. I'm considering maybe switching to Brazil instead because I loved it that much over there. But I don't know. I'm probably thinking Morocco because it's so close to Europe and Africa and Asia. I'm just I don't know. I need time to process it. But yes, when the new year hits, after the New Year's, looking like spring, it'll probably be time for me to pack my shit and get the fuck on because there is a lot of shit going on in America, and I don't want to see shit hit the fan and be here. But first, I kind of got to take a break, lock in, and get my mind right, and eventually get on with the moving and go to other places. But it's been a long while. I appreciate everyone that came to this live stream. It's about 611 people in here. The most it was 700. If you guys can, please leave a like on this live stream. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone that showed me love and gave me so much like tips and advice and guidance. I love and appreciate every single one of y'all. Thank you so much for coming through. I'm about to get the hell up out of here because it's been a nice 2 hours. But again, thank you so much. Good night. Y'all be safe and feel free to watch the playback because we talked about a lot of stuff. Thank you. Cheers. Bye. Choice out this bitch.